What is up, YouTube? This is Juggernaut097 bringing guys another video today, and today I'm going to be doing my WWE review of WrestleMania 17, which I just watched it on the WWE Network. And through the month of February and March, I'm going to be reviewing WrestleMania 17 through 30, leading up to WrestleMania 31. So yeah, this is something new I'm going to be doing on my channel. I'm going to review, upcoming pay-per-views that come up. So nonetheless, let's get started with this review. And I'm not going to go too in depth with the matches because if you guys already have a network, you guys can go watch this and yeah. But for the first match we have is the WWE Intercontinental Championship match, Chris Jericho versus William Regal. This was a pretty good opener match. Chris Jericho wins by the Lion Solo. William Regal at this time, he was the commissioner. He was that big bad heel and stuff. And William Regal, he tried to take off the turnbuckle pad, and that doesn't work out very well for him, and that cost him the match. That lets Jericho win by the Lion Salt. So yeah, pretty good opener. And then after that, we have a little it shows backstage, and it shows the limo pulling up, and it shows Shane McMahon hopping out. So yeah, and after that, we have a backstage segment with the APA. That's pretty much all to say about that. And then next, we have a 6-man tag team match: The Right to Censor versus Taz and the APA. I really hate The Right to Censor's theme. I never really liked their theme back in the day, and I still hate it. But Taz and APA win when when Bradshaw does the clothesline to hell on, I think it was on Val Venus. Yeah, it was on Val Venus. He tries to go for a clothesline in the corner, and Bradshaw moves out of the way and hits the clothesline from hell, and they win the match. So yeah, Taz and APA win. And then next we have is the Hardcore Championship match: Raven versus Kane versus Big Show. This was a really fun match. I really enjoyed this match. They went all over this arena, and before Kane even got out there, Raven and Raven and Kane started fighting, and this was just really hardcore. And I wish they would bring back the Hardcore Championship. That would be really awesome, but I doubted that they ever will. But I mean, this was a really fun match. Kane wins the match when Raven and Big Show get thrown off the stage, and Kane does a leg drop off the stage onto Big Show to get the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, this was a really good match. I enjoyed it. Really fun. So yeah. And then next match we had was Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. This was really a really technical match. A lot of submission moves in this match. Chris Benoit tried to go for the crossface, and Kurt Angle tried to go for the ankle lock. This was pretty much ankle lock versus crossface match, in my opinion. There were a few times when Kurt Angle hit the crossface on Chris Benoit, and there were a few times that Chris Benoit did the ankle lock on to Kurt Angle, but Kurt Angle wins by a roll-up. I didn't really like how that ended, and I think he should have tapped him out, but that's in my opinion. But then the next match we have is Ivory versus China. I really like the women's matches back in these days. Like, they're so much better than the main roster matches now, because they don't get very much time. But China wins the match by a slam, and I don't really like the ending of the match, but yeah, pretty good match. And then the next match we had was a street fight: Shane McMahon versus Vince McMahon. This was really hardcore, pretty much. They had Trish Stratus involved with this. They had Stephanie. They had who else did they have involved? They had Linda McMahon. Trish Stratus turned her back on Vince McMahon during the match, slapped him, and then she went after Stephanie McMahon and ran her off. And this was a really hardcore match. Pretty much McMahon versus McMahon. Pretty much decent. Trying to teach a lesson to Shane McMahon. But yeah, Shane McMahon wins the match by the. He wins the match by the coast to coast on Vince McMahon, and Linda McMahon gets involved during the match. She was sitting in the chair, sitting in a chair in the ring, and Vince McMahon was getting ready to hit Shane McMahon with a trash can, and then Vince McMahon turns around and he gets low blow by Shane McMahon. Low blow by Linda, sorry. But yeah, pretty good match. I enjoyed it. And then the next match we had was TLC match for the Tag Team Championships. Of course, we all know about this match. We had Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys. Really hardcore. A lot of good spots in this match. Really good spots during the match. Of course, when we had Jeff Hardy do the Swanton Bomb on I can't remember who was on. I think it was on Bubba Ray. I'm not sure, but yeah, of course we know when Jeff Hardy got speared off the, when he was hanging on to the titles, he got speared by Edge. And of course we know Rhino tipped over the ladder when Devon and Matt Hardy were on top of the ladder, and they went through the table. Of course, we all know those spots at the show a lot of times. But this was a really fun match. I enjoyed it, but Edge and Christian win the match when they're climbing up the ladders. So, yeah, really fun. And if you guys never watched this match, go back and watch it on the WWE Network for only $9.99. So, yeah. And then the next match we had was a gimmick battle royal match. I'll have to say it's Iron Sheik won the matches. I was not into this match at all. I didn't like it. None whatsoever. Didn't like it. But then the next match we had was Undertaker versus Triple H. No one really talks about this Undertaker match at WrestleMania. Not much people talk about it, but this was a fun Undertaker match. They fought into the crowd. It wasn't a no disqualification match, but they hit the referee a few times. When Undertaker. Oh yeah, Undertaker. He hit a chokeslam on Triple H, and then he took his anger out on the referee, and then they fought into the crowd. They got a whole bunch of weapons. Triple H took some bad bumps during the match. He took a chokeslam off of the stage type thing, like around where the audio is. Excuse me. But yeah, Undertaker wins by the. What's he win by? Oh yeah, he wins by the last ride. So yeah, pretty good match. I really enjoyed that. Probably maybe the third best match of the night, somewhere around there. But yeah. And then the next match we have is the WWE Championship match: The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Best match of the night, and this is probably the best WrestleMania of all times in my opinion. But this was fun match. There were a lot of rock bombs, there were a lot of Stone Cold stunners, there were a lot of, hardcore. This was a really hardcore match. Really fun. They both got busted open during the match. The Rock did the Stone Cold Stunner a few times. Stone Cold Steve Austin did the Rock Bomb a few times, and of course we know when Vince McMahon comes down and then lines him, Stone Cold lines himself with Vince McMahon, pretty much does his heel turn. Oh, yeah, this was a fun match. I really enjoyed the match. So yeah, this is my WWE WrestleMania 17 review, and I'm going to be doing this for the rest of the WrestleManias. I'm going to do this for 18 through 30 now. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing these on Mondays, Saturdays, and probably Sundays. Those are the days I'm going to do this. No, sorry. Mondays, Fridays, Sundays. Those are the days I'm going to do these reviews. So, yeah. So, this Friday I'll be doing my WWE Wrestlemania 18 review. So, stay tuned for that. And I'm going to have these in audio form. So, yeah. If you guys think it's something different. Tell me if you guys like this. Tell me if you don't, Just tell me your opinion on what you like about this. So, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at TheTrueJSB. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Peace out, guys. See you guys in my next review